As some of you may know, I have some ideas for a theme park for Franklin County, Alabama, which hopefully it will be located in Russellville, Alabama, which is the town I live in. And within this theme park, there will be museums, an amusement park, and some mazes. And so let's get started with the first building that I want to talk about, or the museum. The first museum I want to talk about is the Russell Science Museum. In this museum, there's going to be a few different levels, most likely a basement as well. And of course, people will be learning about science in this building, and there will be different rooms for each science lesson that will be taught. And also, as I have mentioned in my prior videos, there will be holograms, interaction with holograms and things like that. Let's just say, for instance, there could be a room for insects, where people learn about insects. And there can be different, each week or whatever, there could be different lessons on the different kinds of insects. Because let's face it, there's millions of insects out there. So the topic of insects would be limitless. I mean, it just, it would just be a lot to discuss and learn. So people can learn about that, say, in one room, and in the next room, they can learn about mammals. Then in another room, they could probably learn about planet Earth. Maybe go into more detail about rocks and things like that in another room. And then again, in another room, they could probably learn about celestial things, outer space, the universe, all that type of thing. I mean, there's just so much that can be learned in the field of science that could happen within this museum that would be entertaining, interactive, and fun for the whole family. Okay, then after that, I want to talk about, let me find it, the Russellville Culture Museum. In this museum, the topic would be about the different cultures of the world. There could be anything talked about, from maybe tribes to pop culture to, say, like the different years that we've experienced through the world, like all the different things that happened within culture. And again, it could be, different rooms with different topics discussed. There could also be like a basement and all that type of thing. In each one of these museums, hopefully there will be shops for people to purchase souvenirs and things like that. Each museum will have its own different souvenirs for people to purchase things. And in some of the museums also, there could be like either a little coffee shop or donut shop or some little eatery or snack area. Not all the museums, but some of them. I guess it would depend on the size of the museum and whoever develops all this, whatever they think would be best. Okay, let's see. The next one I want to go over, let me find it, would be the Franklin Celeste Observatory. I know in one video I called it the Russellville Celeste Observatory, but no, it's the Franklin Celeste Observatory. Of course, these names are not set in stone. If anyone ever chooses to use my ideas, they can name it whatever they choose to name it. But this is just what I've come up with, just for the sake of demonstration. In this observatory, people can go, and there'll be like a big, huge telescope to where people can look into outer space. There'll be like a glass dome, hopefully a very thick glass dome, to where it would be protected against different weather and all that type of thing, like they do, in some of the other observatories, maybe even a sheath that will go over it, like when it's not in use, to cover the glass or whatever, however they want to do it. But basically that would be used for, is for people to go and observe the universe. I think that would be wonderful, something fun and magnificent, especially when there are events going on in outer space, say like a meteorite or different planetary alignments. This would be the perfect place to go for people to watch it happen. I think that would be great. And of course, just like the other buildings, it will have its own gift shop, things like that. Okay, the next building would be the Franklin County Historical Museum. And this would be a pretty good sized building because basically, in my idea, it will have to deal with all the different historical events going on from, say, from the world all the way down to Russellville, Alabama, Franklin County, things like that. Like in my mind, I envision like the different rooms set up to where in one room you may learn about Franklin County, the beginnings of Franklin County, how it started all the way up to now. In another room you might learn about the state of Alabama, how it was formed and all that. And then another room you might learn about the United States, how it was formed, all that type of thing. And then go on to otherworldly areas like England and France. I mean, you name it. All those things can be discussed within different rooms of this building. And with this building being fairly large, also it would be nice, like in the back of the building, there would be like a nice good size hologram room or two to where people can go in. Like after you've toured the other different rooms where you have like a regular speaker, or they may have a hologram speaker within each room, right? Discussing, the topics. Then you can go into any of the back rooms where they got the holograms, and you can listen to a video and see the holograms of a certain event. And of course, it will be changed up ever so often to make it entertaining. And you can just like interact with kind of like, I guess, on a up to a certain point with the holograms, and just, be fascinated by all the things going on within the room. Okay, and also in this building, in the basement, there will be a gift shop and also maybe a little eatery area to where people can have lunch or whatever. I think that would be nice. So yeah, this building I think would be a good building for like a little mini restaurant type thing down in the basement. I think that would be the perfect place. That way people can go and explore on the other levels of the building, and then when they're done, they can go down into the basement. That way, hopefully they won't bring any food or anything like that into the other rooms and mess anything up. Okay, let's see. The next building I want to talk about is, let me find it, would be the Russellville Museum of Art. This building will be shaped like a large dome. I've kind of been inspired by the High Museum of Art and other buildings art museums that I've seen that were kind of sort of a little dome shaped or unusually shaped. I think that would be kind of nice for an art museum. And of course, you go to the different levels and see all the different artwork of the world. And also there can be like some type of hologram rooms and different things to where maybe even artists themselves can create things to where people can interact and have a good time. I mean, it could be just, a really good art museum. If people would put their imagination to work, I think they could really make this a really great museum. Okay, let's see. The next building, where is it right here. All right, the next building I want to talk about is the Russellville House of Holograms and Technology. Okay, in this building, again, it's going to be quite a large building with a basement, with gift shops, all that type of thing, but also quite a number of rooms that have holograms. Maybe there can be some instructions on technology, where we've come, like where we started from, all the way up to where we are now. There can be classes and things upon that, and in different rooms, there can be just holographic things where people can go in and just observe, say like a beach or a certain city or town or landscape, just different things like that, to where it will make you feel like you're there. When you step in that room, the hologram takes up the whole room. Kind of like, in a way, it reminds me, I know people out there have seen those cube boxes where people go in and the whole box is a hologram and you feel like you're there. Well, that's kind of like how each room will be set up, and it will have sensors, and there will be holograms that will hopefully interact with the human that's in the room. And in some rooms, what would be nice is, say, like if there's holographic ballerinas or dancers in the rooms, and you feel like you're dancing with them. Like you can just kind of dance a little bit and move around and feel like you're there with a group of ballerinas. And also in some of the rooms, like they can be playing different music and things like that. And like when you step or you move your hand or whatever, there can be like color waves. Like I've seen things where on different shows where they were showing technological things and holograms and stuff, where people would, like, you could touch something or move your hand a certain way, and different colors and waves of colors and things like that would appear. It would be kind of neat to have something like that happening within the rooms. And also, what would be neat is if this theme park really caught on and became popular, if there was like the latest movie that come out or latest thing, there could be deals made with maybe movie companies or whatever, to where this building or certain rooms of the building could display holograms from a certain movie or a certain thing that was going on that was real popular in entertainment. And maybe even have guest appearances from actors and singers and things like that. That would be kind of nice. Although, I know that's way out there and that's a far-fetched idea, but it's just a thought that's occurred to me that would be nice if it could ever be possible. But yeah, so that's me touching the surface on that. Okay, and let's see. After that, okay, we'll go in, I believe that's the last ones of those. So now we'll go into the mazes. Of course, these will be located in the back part of the property. They could be like bush mazes or just, whatever type of maze the developer chooses to use. So like if it was bushes and things like that, you could just go and walk your way through. And have a good time with that on this one side. Then, of course, in the middle, there could be a miniature lighthouse that's on a miniature island where people can have like bridges on two sides of it, to where people can walk across and have like a little bit of water. And people can go up into the lighthouse and enjoy themselves. And actually come out onto the balcony of the lighthouse and look out. That'd be kind of nice. And let's see. In another part, let's see if I can find it. Let's see. All right. On the other part of the back area could be a maze with different statues, like really, really tall statues. It could be statues of famous people, statues of animals, statues of famous landmarks like the Eiffel Tower or Statue of Liberty. I mean, you name it. Those types of things could be really neat to put within a maze. People can walk around and watch and observe, and it would be something to do. I think that would be nice. And then, of course, there could be also little concrete decorated little mazes with different designs on it that people could walk on and just, have a good time with that as well. I just, the ideas are endless. I mean, if someone could take these ideas, they could really, really run with them. And I really think this could work if there was enough investors, enough people interested to back it up. And of course, there could be, admission charges, like each museum could charge a fee, or you could buy like a total package to where you would have access to everything. Let me talk about the park, the amusement park. There we go. That would be nice. The thing about it would be that it would need to be sturdy. It don't need to be flimsy. Or shall I say it doesn't need to be flimsy or, your average fairground, flimsy equipment. It needs to be sturdy equipment that will last for a long time and become a staple of this community, to where people can take their kids, and just have a good time and have like a little fun house within it with mirrors and little bouncy areas. I mean, you name it. I mean, I really think that would be good, especially for children. It would be nice to have something like that within the park. But like I said, in order to fund this, hopefully there would be investors and all that, or maybe a public grant or something. But in order for the investors or the whatever to recoup its money, and the city to also get its cut, and the county to get their cut of the money, there could be admission fees to either the separate buildings themselves or a total package fee. So I just honestly, I think this would be a good idea, and it would pick up, this town, because there's not really much going on. As other people have said, that could be a reason why there's such a I guess, boredom of teenagers, and hopefully it will keep teenagers away from drugs and things like that, which I know there's other factors involved in that, but I think this would kind of help keep people entertained and give people something to do besides being bored. I mean, because there's just not really much to do in a lot of these rural towns, and something like this would really, really, I think it would help. So anyway, that's my presentation for this, and I hope all you guys like it. Thank you.